Hello guys, and welcome to the first English video on my channel. And I'm doing this video in English because I kinda been wanting to do this for quite some time now, or actually thinking about it. And now I'm just starting to also put out some English videos, but it's not going to be the only language, of course. So I will still continue to make some German content, that's for sure. So what did I build here? It's a Formula 1 car, and it's the Williams FW41. And it's the current 2018 Formula 1 car by the brand Williams. And yeah, I built this in minifigure scale, which was kind of a challenge, but it was what I wanted to do in the first place. And so I started figuring out some ways how it could work. And I experimented a bit, and in the end this result turned out. So yeah, let's get into the close-up to see how it's actually made. So why did I choose this specific car? It's a pretty interesting choice, I think. The first thing that came to my mind when I watched Formula 1 recently was that the halos that they integrated in this season, the cockpit protection right here is called Halo. It really gives a different look to the cars, and I think they actually look pretty cool. I like the halos. Despite their protection, they're also just nice looking, and that's something that they had to achieve, because I think a lot of fans were actually skeptical about those additions because they really changed the look of the car. But Williams did a cool job on this, because with this car, especially in the profile, you can see it, and in the original pictures you can of course see it even better. I just modeled this after that, of course. So I can't really include any images here because of copyright reasons, but if you want to compare my model to the original, then feel free to just browse the web and search for some images. What Williams did is they kind of made the curve that the halo makes towards the back, so as you can see it kind of slants down. They continued that with the painting on the side, with the white painting here. So in reality the cockpit would be a bit farther to the front, which of course in minifigure scale I had to make some compromises, and you can see the figure down in there, and I just couldn't get it further to the front, so the cockpit sits a little far back here. But in the original it would be kind of like right here, and then the halo would start the curve that goes down, and the painting on the side follows that curve, and it creates a really smooth, nice line, which gives a totally new look to the car and makes it really elegant looking. And that's why I chose the Williams one, and also the colors are kind of cool. Now for the tire colors I chose yellow, so that means these would be the soft tires, which are kind of commonly used. Williams also featured these tires in their official pictures, probably also because of color choices. I think it just adds to the look a little bit, makes it more interesting if you have some yellow in there. Now the nose section is made out of this diffuser part is made out of a tire, and I just put 6 minifigure hands on there to simulate the aerodynamic fins, which are really crazy. There's so much going on there, and I just approximated this using some minifig hands. Now as you can see, I also used some hands right here that simulate how the wheels are connected to the, I guess, a body of the car, or the nose section. And you can also see the colors that I brought in there. Now in the original you have some blue and red stripes going down the side here. And they're pretty slim, that's why I approximated them using a rubber band. But the rubber band is only blue, and so I included some a red piece down in there, which is actually in the wrong spot, you could say. But it gives a little bit of red to the front, which wouldn't be there otherwise, and I think that's a good choice to give the impression that the right colors are there, even though they're not perfectly in the right spot. But of course the rubber band is actually an all Lego piece, since that's very important to me. I'm what they call a Lego purist, so I don't want to include any non-Lego pieces into my build. So it's all Lego, it's a Lego rubber band. So yeah, continuing towards the back, we have the bottom plate that starts coming out to the sides here. And I made that using some diving fins on actually the minifigure legs in the back, as you can see there. So what you can kind of see is that the minifig is included as a structural element into this build. So basically the back and the front section are only being held together by friction on the minifigure, and that's what I'm going to show later. It's a compromise that I made for detail over stability, which I kind of don't tend to do anymore. I kind of want to have sturdy builds, but for this small scale and a still detailed model that I wanted to build, I made that compromise. So yeah, the cockpit, as you can see, has the halo up here made out of some minifig arms and hand pieces. You can see the driver down in there. It's no specific driver. It could be Lance Stroll. The face is not really off, so it could simulate him, but I didn't really mean to simulate any specific driver. And you can also see only the helmet is painted white, or is a white piece, since you can see the torso and legs of the driver on the outside, and so I had to make those black, even though the Williams suit is actually white. Yeah, so on the side I mentioned those curves that I simulated with some inverted 1x2x2 plate slope pieces. And you also have, so kind of the white slopes down here and it goes all the way to the bottom. And in the back it starts sloping back up again, which I just approximated using some of these extended plates, which is not the most pretty look, but it's good for actually structural integrity back there. It really connects the very back section to the midsection, which actually is just a pressure connection. I just slide this in right there, and things just clamp together and they hold themselves together. But for sure this is not a model to be moved around a lot or even played with, but that was not my intention. So you got the colors in the back here. I included some blue and red, and you know, the slope that goes down the back here is actually kind of straight in this area and then slopes down in blue and black, blue and red. But I made it using a white piece to get the back color pieces connected to the white section. It's more like a structural piece up here, and it also just gives some cohesiveness and sleekness to the body, which it doesn't have otherwise. You can see all the small gaps there caused by the pieces I used, and so I really put on this piece to get some more smoothness in there. So in the very back you can see the wing that can actually be moved a little bit. It's very fragile, as you can see, but you could, for some pictures, you could actually move it up and down a little bit and shoot some different pictures where it's at a steeper angle or a more flat angle. And using a minifigure hand I simulated the bar that goes up to the wing back there, as you can see. And there are also some minifigure hands right here that simulates the chassis, I guess, that goes out to where the wheels are connected. And in the very back you can see the brake light, which is a little dark right now. I did not include a red piece, a trans red piece there, since the brake light of course doesn't shine always, only if you brake, so it's just a black piece. And yeah, so the last view you can actually get a look at is the top view. As you can see, I also brought in that V-shape best as I could, the V-shape of the driver and engine section back here. And on the underside you can see the bottom plates that I made using a regular plate, actually one of those minifigure display plates, the diving fins like I mentioned, and some inverted tiles that I put in there. Yeah, so you just saw how the back just slides in there, and same thing kind of goes with the front. Like I said, the driver is really what keeps these sections together, and I'm going to demonstrate it right now. It just slides out of place, and these red pieces in here, they clamp onto the helmet of the driver and make a pressure connection that keeps the car together. So it's really just dependent on the driver. Yeah, but that's, like I said, the compromise that I made for the details I wanted to include. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. That's it. So see you all again next time. Bye bye.